Hey guys, what's going on? It's Omar here, host and creator of the Passionate Few podcast and YouTube channel. And today I'm going to be going over not only the awesome accomplishment, thanks to you guys, of getting my 100K YouTube subscriber plaque from YouTube, but I'm also going to be sharing with you guys how you can take these top 5 steps to create badass content. So if you're a 6, 7, or 8-figure entrepreneur and beyond, and you want to create content online and you're looking for a way to grow your audience, maybe grow your sales, grow your impact, and reach more people, I promise you want to stay to the very end because you're going to get a tremendous amount of value from this video with these 5 tips. If you're not, it's still going to be valuable, but not as valuable if you're serious in terms of entrepreneurship and creating content to blow up your brand. So with no further ado, let's get right into it. These are my top 5 tips on how to create content to build a badass brand. When it comes to creating content online, there's a few things to remember. And I know there's a lot of gurus out there teaching you different stuff, do this or do that. But I will tell you, when it comes to business, I've sat down with over $10 billion worth of entrepreneurs. And I've had a unique ticket to history in a sense that I've got to sit down with people like Grant Cardone, Ed Mylett, billionaire John Paul DeJoria, people like Lisa Nichols from The Secret. You guys might know him from the Law of Attraction books. But, you know, across industry, you'll notice that there are entrepreneurs who are doing things that work. And one of the things you'll notice is that content nowadays is growing more and more. I like to consider it digital real estate. And the reality is, when you see successful people doing things, right, success leaves clues. So when you see people like Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone, Ed Mylett, all these other big names in business, men and women across industries, whether you personally like those people or not, the reality is the same. Content works. And if you're going to be creating content, it's something that's integral. Back in the day, it was optional, but I believe now more than ever, with a super crowded and saturated marketplace, it is so important to see what other people are doing, model what they do, and make it your own. So with that preface in mind, here are my top 5 tips. So with no further ado, number 1 is to take imperfect action, okay? Number 1 is to take imperfect action. Now, when I say that, I mean that you have to go out there and try ideas. A lot of people, when it comes to starting a podcast or YouTube channel, you know, a lot of them are stuck because, you know, they don't know, what to do. How do I create content online? Who do I pay to help me? How often should I post? Am I even good on camera? Does my voice sound weird? How much should I pay somebody to help me? Should I get somebody to help me? Should I get an intern? Should I pay them? Do I go on YouTube? Do I go on Facebook? Do I go on Instagram? Will people even listen to what I have to say, right? Is my voice even compelling? Am I even smart enough to host a show or create enough content, right? Would it be worth my time? Would I actually make money? Yada, yada, yada. And the list goes on and on, okay? But the reality is, all those loud voices, you got to calm them down and realize that if you take imperfect action and just try your own ideas, that more often than not, things will work. But you got to take action to get the ball rolling, okay, guys? So number 1 is to take imperfect action, trying your ideas. And I know this is simple, but it's also very powerful. And the late great Jim Rohn said, what's easy to do is also easy not to do. So make sure that you don't just write it off and go, yeah, okay, Omar, taking perfect action, I get it. But I'm serious. Like, you could right now, step 1, in terms of watching this video, walk away from it, start your own YouTube channel, start your own podcast channel, register for the YouTube channel, register your email, register your name for it, call somebody, ask them to make a logo, or maybe you could make the logo, decide on the name for your channel, decide on one video, right? The power of one. What's the one thing you could create and publish to get the ball rolling, okay? That is super duper important, okay? Once you get over that publishing anxiety and you put content out, you'll be well on your way to your subscribers, more customers, more amazing people, and ultimately maybe even one of these plaques, okay? So number 2 is to publish value consistently. And I know you guys hear this a lot, but I'll share with you, one special little gem here. See, if you're an entrepreneur, again, multiple 6, 7, 8-figure entrepreneur, and you have a personal brand that's not yet congruent with the size of your business, well, you're going to want to bridge that gap. And the way to do it is to publish value consistently, right? Once you get over step 1 of taking imperfect action and launching, step 2 is to publish value consistently. Now, when you publish value, there's a lot of different ways you can go about it, right? Some people want to do interviews. That's something I personally loved and didn't know how to do it when I started. Nobody knows what they're doing, so you're in luck. And again, my team can help people. You can actually, book a call below. There should be a link and an application you can fill out if you guys are interested in maybe hopping on a strategy session and potentially working with us to help you do this. But the reality is that Nobody knows what they're doing when they start. You gain competency by taking action, right? Competency follows commitment. So you've got to decide and ask yourself, how do you want to create content consistently? How do you want to produce that value? Do you want to do interviews? Do you want to do stuff where you teach on a whiteboard? Do you want to have a vlogger follow you around? There are so many models out there. So I'd encourage you, do your research, go out there and see what other people are doing. Maybe you like what I'm doing and you want to model that. Or maybe you see what other people are doing, Gary Vee having a vlog and you like that. Or maybe in your office you have meetings regularly with your team. You could have somebody film that, repurpose it, and create content. A lot of times you'll be blown away at how much content you can create in a very short period of time if you just really take the time to sit down with yourself and ask yourself, what would I want to create? What would I be inspired to create? And if you can give out that value consistently, well, now you'll build a momentum with your audience, okay? So that's number 2. Is to create consistent value and figure out what it is you want to share, right? That's the most important thing. And it can always evolve, but you got to just decide once and for all what you want to launch with and trust that you can pivot later. As you can see, I'm the king of imperfect action. Had no idea what I was doing, was total nobody, broke, lost, depressed, yet I've managed to not only accomplish amazing stuff like this thanks to you guys who've liked, commented, subscribed. And by the way, make sure to subscribe on this video if you guys are enjoying this. But basically, it goes to show that it's possible for anybody. And don't worry about what anybody else is doing or how fast they're growing subscribers or whatever it is. It's just a matter of time if you put out value. Here's one more bonus before I get into number 3. Gary Vee says something super powerful. He says that when you first start creating content, don't even worry about views for the first year. Just worry about creating stuff that you're inspired to create and your audience will resonate with you. So maybe you're a coach, maybe you sell information products, maybe you want to get into the digital info space, maybe you want to share success stories with your audience and maybe get more clients. Maybe you want to bring brand awareness to your brand or your story. And people who sometimes hit us up and they say, Omar, we want to be featured on your show. And most of the time our interviews are invite only, right? We've interviewed some of the most prolific entrepreneurs on the planet, but every so often we get entrepreneurs who have amazing businesses who have a personal brand that's not congruent with the size of that business. Well, then we've offered a product or service where people can reach out to us and they can apply to be featured on the show. And we have different programs, and yes, it's paid, but people are more than happy to pay us because we created a platform of literally reaching millions of people, over 100,000 subscribers now as well. And we have the podcast and many other platforms we're on. But it's the reason that amazing people, entrepreneurs like yourself, are hitting people like us up and paying upwards of 5, 10, 15, 25, 50K for coaching programs and various products and services. Now, you might not have to do it that way, but I just want to be 100% transparent. Whether you sell courses or want to build brand awareness, that is possible for you, because the most valuable asset nowadays is attention, is an audience. And so because we did the legwork of building this audience, a lot of people contact us and say, hey, can you help me build an audience? Can you help me speak to your audience? And again, if you guys want help with that, you can apply in the description below for all that stuff. But again, it's something that's available to you if you build an audience. Just think of the people and the opportunities that you could attract to people who would want to work with you if only you would have the courage to create value and build that audience. So again, food for thought. That's a little bit of the how and the why. Number 3 is when you're creating content, once you start publishing value, you want to make sure that you have engaging stories, thumbnails, and titles on your content. So this is the most practical advice of all. See, when you're creating content, you got to remember that facts tell, but stories sell. And we built a huge audience purely by sharing with people stories from people all over the world, whether it's the creator of Hot Cheetos who went from broke to creating a $1 billion product, John Paul DeJoria, creator of Patron Tequila, and Paul Mitchell, who was living in his car twice homeless, to building not one, but $2 billion companies. The reality is that facts tell, but stories sell. So if you can figure out a way to get your story out there to the world, whether you're showcasing your story or showcasing other people's stories, which in my case is what I did initially, you got to remember that's what's going to retain an audience. That's what's going to make people want to stick with you time after time again, right? A lot of people can share stuff on a whiteboard or give out content, but if you can inject into that some power with the story, well, now you're going to start attracting more people. So I hope this is making sense. So you got to remember, facts tell, but stories sell. Create engaging stories. Share with your audience the stories of how you went from 0 to maybe your first customer or your first 100,000 or your first million, or how you got the idea for your brilliant thing that you're working on or your business or whatever it is. So share that story with them. And then the second part of that is thumbnails and titles. You got to have compelling thumbnails and titles. Now, what a lot of people have done, and if you watch this thumbnail, you can see that not all videos hit. I've had some videos that got hundreds of thousands of views, with millions of minutes watched, and I've got some that only got a couple hundred, in the beginning a couple dozen, right? The reality is you're gonna have to experiment a little bit, but once you find a formula and a theme, well, now you can create something that excites an audience to wanna click over and over again. It is so important to remember. I think so many people overlook this and make this mistake is they said, you know what, I created an awesome video, I'm showcasing my brand, I'm creating cool content, but the reality is I see a lot of these people, even successful, 7, 8-figure entrepreneurs who you would think have built multi-million-dollar companies would care about branding, a lot of times just overlook it. They don't know what they don't know, and that's okay. But if you can create thumbnails, and this is my little formula, and I actually learned this from a YouTube strategist recently, if you can have a close-up of somebody's face on it, right? Faces are the most clicked on thumbnails on YouTube, right? A face with an expression on one side, and then up top in a corner, you have, think of it like the title of the video, right? If you want to put text, maybe how I went from this to this, that could be in this section. So say you have I'm going to kind of use the video screen here as a thumbnail, but you guys can run with the metaphor. Have a close-up of a face somewhere in this section, have a title up here of what it is, and then you could have your logo or subtext or colors or imagery right in this bottom corner. And then remember, in the corner of videos, when you're scrolling through YouTube, you usually see that left side first when you're cruising through thumbnails. So make sure to capitalize on that left side of the thumbnail. That's what people are going to see first. So you want to remember to do that. Also, in the bottom corner, there's going to be timestamps. And if you know what I mean, there's, when you click on thumbnails or scroll on YouTube and there's little timestamps in the bottom, well, that section is usually going to be covered. So you want to keep that little area available for the timestamp to go there. These are the little nuances that if you go back and play this over and comment below, and our team will get back to you if you have any questions. But these are the types of nuances and details that make channels work and grow. So don't overlook them by thinking they're too simple. Remember, what's easy to do is also easy not to do, but just do it. And that last part is titles. When you have a title from the video, you want to make sure to remember to create something compelling. You'll notice this video had numbers in it in the title, but a lot of our videos have been, from broke to $1 billion, right? Or broke to 100 million, or broke to $1 million. But it doesn't have to be money. It could be, my top 5 tips on, how to build a channel and how I got 100K YouTube subscribers with these 5 tips. And I could do a little thing where I freeze frame it and make this my thumbnail, for example, right? Or I could go like this. Either side, right? And then you could screenshot that and use that as a thumbnail. And I know I'm being kind of silly here, but I'm trying to illustrate the point that even in little videos like this that I'm shooting on my iPhone that's held up, you could see that there's a lot of different ways to go about creating content, and you can experiment and you can still add value, and a lot of people are going to benefit. And guess what? You can create more and more, see what works, do more of that, and do less of what doesn't. So remember, those are some of the things that work. And just to close up the end on that last point about titles, is numbers are important, and here's why. It's because people like to conceptualize stuff in a way they can understand. So if I was to title this video my top tips for YouTube, that might be less compelling than my top 5 tips on how to get 100K YouTube subscribers, right? So let's say you're a coach or consultant, or maybe you have a business and you're trying to get more clients. You could say, my top 5 tips to get more clients, or say you're in the fitness space, my top 3 tips to get a 6-pack in 2020, right? Whatever it is, you're gonna help people conceptualize it a lot more effectively if you put numbers in those titles, okay? And number 4, from my top 5 tips here, number 4, and again, we're gonna list them below so you guys have all this. Number 4 is collaboration and teamwork. I gotta tell you, when I started the channel, I tried to do everything myself and I was losing my mind. And then I started finding and attracting people, and maybe you watching this and you want to join our team or in some way participate with us and you want to be a part of the team. Well, guess what? We're always looking for people to help us with graphic design, video, editing. There's so many ways that you can get people to help you. And, there's a difference. And if you're a 6, 7, or 8-figure entrepreneur, you already know this, between being a solopreneur and an entrepreneur. A solopreneur goes by themselves, and you can do a lot by yourself, but you can go way further once you build a team, once you build an army, okay? So number 4 is to build a team and collaborate. You gotta remember, people create synergy, people create magic. And not only in the sake of a team, right? Attracting a team of people who can help us. I, till this day, am not the most knowledgeable about editing or video or audio, but I have a team of amazing people who, without them, I wouldn't be able to do this. Men much smarter than myself on the technical side, and that was a huge catalyst in helping me grow the channel and achieve this bad boy. The other thing is collaboration. Now, I've interviewed over $10 billion worth of entrepreneurs, and I know I keep saying that, but I gotta say it so you guys pay attention. But if you collaborate with people and you realize that there's people out there who who might already have an audience that you could collaborate with, whether you start a YouTube channel and a podcast like I did, or maybe you just find other influencers in your area, or maybe just people who have skills, even if they don't have an audience, and you collaborate with them. Well, the reality is that once you get people with you, you can have new ideas, you attract new audiences, you can inherit audiences. So when I interview Grant Cardone, a lot of his audience will watch this. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you've probably seen one of my interviews, and if you haven't, I would encourage you to go check them out. But it's because I collaborated with other people, and that helped me growth hack and grow the channel. And again, some people can do it. It took me almost 3 years to get my 100K YouTube subscriber reward. Some pranksters have done it in 3 months. The reality is I never cared about the money. I never cared about the audience. I cared about doing something in the world that made a difference. And as a result, I attracted amazing people just like you to watch and subscribe and want to participate and get inspired by this stuff. So I hope this is making sense. Like, is this making sense, guys? Like, is this bringing value? Make sure to comment below. Let us know your guys' thoughts on this. I'm happy to create more and more content like this. And we have tons more content coming out, so stay tuned for it. And as we get into our last point, right, so let me recap. So number 1, we said take imperfect action by trying ideas. Number 2, publish value consistently. See what's out there and see what you can create and just audition it. See what happens. You can always pivot later, delete stuff if you really don't like it, but you'll never know how many things will blow up if you just take action on it. Number 3 is to make sure to include engaging stories, right? Facts tell and stories sell. Engaging thumbnails and engaging titles. Once you have that, you're going to attract people to want to see, like, oh, what happened? You're going to intrigue them to want to participate, subscribe, and want to be involved with more of what you have to offer. Number 4 is collaboration and teamwork, right? Collaborating with other people that might have an audience or skill set or expertise, and teamwork, people who can help you in your mission. Now, number 5, this is probably the easiest and most fun of all, and that is to, once you audition this different stuff, you'll get feedback. And once you do that, you're ready for this step 5, which is to do it your way and have fun. Have fun. I can't tell you how many content creators will see stuff like this and they'll stress out about the fact that they haven't been able to grow an epic audience, or they haven't been able to reach a lot of people or get a lot of views. Think long term. Don't think short term. See, I think of content like digital real estate. And if you're doing it your way, if you're having fun, look at us. A lot of people will say, hey, publish X amount of videos a week. And yes, we try to, but a lot of times it's not easy to book billion-dollar entrepreneurs and create content 3 times a week. Yet we were able to hit this benchmark doing it our way and having fun. Sometimes I hop on here, take a little imperfect action, even if the light's getting dark and the sun's setting, to shoot these videos with you guys. And sometimes we're interviewing billion-dollar entrepreneurs with super professional equipment. Sometimes I'm on a whiteboard, right? The reality is, there's more than one way to do it. And that's one of the most beautiful and profound elements of social media. So remember to do it your way and have fun. Notice what works, pivot your approach, and just like what made you successful in business, you'll see that getting to the next level is just a series of making these little pivots and adjustments, taking action and being on offense to have fun and put more stuff out there. So again, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. These are my top 5 tips. I hope you enjoyed them. They allowed me to grow to 100,000 subscribers, and for that, I'm forever thankful. Sorry, I'm holding it upside down, but I just want to say thank you guys so much. It means the world to me that I was able to reach this benchmark, and I couldn't have done it without you. Onward and upward to 1 million. Stay tuned. We have so much content coming out in 2020 and beyond, and I'll see you guys there. Again, it's Omar Elattar, host and creator of the Passionate Few podcast and YouTube channel. You can follow me at Omar_the_Rockstar in the description below, as well as all my social media platforms. You can join our VIP list, or if you want to be interviewed on our show so you can growth hack your way to building an audience, well, you can apply to be interviewed on the show. And also, if you're a 6, 7, or 8-figure entrepreneur that wants to have content built out for you, or you want to participate in one of our content creation weekends, we've sat down with, dozens of multi-million, multi-billion-dollar entrepreneurs, have created epic content, and have some of the most popular interviews in the world with a lot of these people. So we know what works. And if you want help building your brand, growth hacking your YouTube channel, well, you can apply for our coaching programs on a strategy session, and we'll get in touch with you and help you there. Again, live strong, live with passion. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, share. If this brought you value, share it with a friend. And until next time, we'll see you then. Live strong, live with passion, and make sure to hit that subscribe button, and stay tuned for much more content. Happy to be of value. All right, guys, take care. Apply in description, and we'll see you guys next time. God bless. Peace.
If you guys enjoyed that video, be sure to hit that subscribe button right now, because every week we bring you the very best in personal development content, interviews, and insights to help inspire you to take your life and your dreams and make them a reality. And also, if you want to know how to book dream guests the same way I have, you can check the link below for my top 3 secrets. So if you have a podcast or a show or whatever it is and you want to collaborate with them, if you click that link below, I'll give you those top 3 secrets to help you get in touch with anybody. And also, don't forget that The Passionate Few is available on media platforms as well. So you can subscribe to the podcast. And until next time, thank you for being one of the passionate few.